Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'm going over all the latest polling and polling averages on realclearpolitics.com, realclearpolling.com, which shows how President Trump is doing when it comes to overall approval rating, as well as Trump's approval rating on several key issues that are very important to the United States, as well as some political leaders and such, and how they are doing as of right now. The latest polling information, which I'm recording as of Monday, March 24th, so very, very recent when this video comes out. President Trump is currently sitting at an approval rating of 47.9% to a disapproval rating of 48.8%. Overall, a spread of negative 0.9%, which, if you look down here at the chart going over President Trump's approval rating, has remained actually very, very close. We have seen a tick up of the disapproval, where it was 48.1% disapprove on March 12th. Now, 12 days later, it has gone up to 48.8%. So President Trump was approved of at the beginning of his term at around 49.4% approve, 47.5% disapprove. This is going back to about February. I can actually go back to the beginning of Trump's term officially. Here in early January, Trump was sitting at around 6.2% approval at 50.5%, disapprove 44.3%. And then from January 27th or so down to about February 6th, Trump's approval rating went down about 2 points from 50.3 down to 48.7. And since then, it has gone down to about 48.4. And then around March 12th, and now around March 24th, it has gone down to 47.9. So from the start of Trump's term to now, it's gone down approximately a little under 3 points from 50.3 to 47.9. But Trump did have a big approval rating at the start of the term, plus 6 points, which is some of the record highs he's ever had in his first term and now at being that approved of so far. And even still, at 0.9% negative, Trump is still polling relatively high compared to how he did in his first term and running into the 2024 election. So Trump's approval rating is essentially very close to even, which is some of the best numbers he has had. Though it can't be denied, in the last 2 weeks or so, President Trump's approval rating has gone negative, and when we look at some of the polls on some key issues, that could potentially be a reason why. But the most recent polls about President Trump's approval rating from Rasmussen has Trump positive 6, The Economist and YouGov has Trump negative 3, Fox News has Trump negative 2, Remington Research has Trump plus 8, Reuters and Ipsos has Trump negative 8, so those two kind of both cancel each other out. Atlas Intel, who you may remember as the most accurate pollster in the 2024 election, they got every single state correct, as well as getting very, very close to getting the margins all correct, has President Trump at negative 5 on the approval rating. NBC, Trump negative 4. Emerson in the middle of March had him at plus 2. Quinnipiac had Trump down 11. CNN down 7. Daily Mail down 2. Trafalgar, Trump plus 5. CBS plus 2. INI TIPP has Trump plus 3, NPR Trump minus 6, and Harvard Harris Trump plus 9. So those are all the most recent President Trump job approval polls. Now we're going to look at some of the issues polls. We're starting on how President Trump was approved on the economy. This could be why his approval rating has dipped a little bit. President Trump, when it comes to the economy, is currently sitting at 44.3% approve, 51.4% disapprove, a spread of negative 7.1%. A recent poll by The Economist and YouGov has Trump minus 1, but the Fox News poll shows Trump underwater in the economy by 13 points. That's certainly going to hurt him as inflation and such is very high. We'll be getting to that poll in just a little bit. I bet if the economy went up, or the economy started doing better, and this poll went up for Trump up to say 46, 47% or so, we'd probably see Trump really flip things around very quickly with the positive approval rating again. But as the economy remains the way it is, in this poll, Remington has him at tied, Reuters minus 12, NBC minus 10, Emerson minus 11, Quinnipiac minus 13, CNN minus 11. CBS did have Trump plus 2 towards the end of February, but a lot of consistency from the CNN poll through the Reuters and Fox News poll showing Trump around minus 10 to 11 to 12 points on the economy. Now we're going on to the next polling issue on foreign policy. Not as many polls conducted on this one. Trump has a negative 9 approval rating on this polling average, 43.3 for Trump, 52.3 disapprove for Trump. The Economist did only have Trump down here minus 2. Reuters had him down 11. NBC had him down 8. Quinnipiac down 11. CNN minus 18. and Harvard-Harris down 4. Not as much polling done on this issue, and I do think the Reuters one and Quinnipiac and CNN do have a history of being more left-wing biased polls, but still nonetheless Trump underwater on foreign policy on that one. When it comes to immigration, Trump actually has a positive job approval rating. Trump has 52.3% approval to 44% disapproval. Immigration so far has certainly been one of Trump's strongest polling issues. Only one poll, Quinnipiac, shows Trump underwater with his handling of immigration by -3. The Economist is Trump +9, Remington Trump +12, Reuters Trump +9, NBC Trump +12, Emerson Trump +8, CNN Trump +8, CBS Trump +8, and Harvard-Harris Trump +12. So I know a lot of Republicans and Democrats in the media argue about immigration and such, but in terms of how Trump is viewed on it, at pretty much every single poll has Trump approved of his handling of immigration. So that's certainly a very interesting find in this polling average. When it comes to inflation, this one's going to hurt Trump. Trump is underwater still by 10.5 points, -7 from The Economist, -18 by Fox, -7 by Remington, -13 by NBC, -8 on CBS, and -10 Harvard-Harris. Again, the economy and inflation, two very important issues that are hurting Trump's approval rating right now. Let's see, now we go on to how President Trump is handling Israel-Palestine conflict. Only 4 polls on this one. Trump underwater by 4.7 points. Emerson -4, Quinnipiac -12, Gallup -11, and CBS News Trump +8. Not really a ton of information and polling on this one, but that's where Trump stands on that. As for the overall direction of the country, President Trump in the right direction of the country is at 43.1%. The country's on the wrong track at 50.9%. That's a negative spread of 7.8. But in the grand scheme of things, Trump is actually doing better than it's been in very recent times. If you want to look down here at the chart where it shows where things stand right now, things are currently negative about 7.8 points. If you want to go back to Election Day, November, or go around November 2nd, the closest we can get here, it was -38 points when Biden was president of the United States. And the last time it was even remotely close was when, around April 15th, 2021, it was about -7 as well. So it's been -30 points or so throughout Biden's entire term. And until Trump took office, and then it started going down from 30 up to 20, up to 10, and now is -8. So in terms of direction of the country, polls are showing Trump has actually improved the standing of the U.S. in the direction of the country by a lot. It's still underwater by about 8 points, but it's certainly the highest it's been in terms of the direction of the country, at very least, since about the spring of 2021, around this time actually, of 2021. So that's very interesting on that. As for the favorability readings of political leaders in the U.S., Trump overall personally is viewed negatively by 3.2%, 46.5 to 49.7. Vice President J.D. Vance is underwater by about the same, by 3.1 points, though there's a lot more undecided vote here, 41.7 to 44.8. Pretty much the same spread as Trump, but a lot more probably unknown for Vance than Trump. Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, is underwater by 3.9, 31.8, 35.7. Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic Minority Leader in the House, he's approved of by 0.7%, 29.2, 28.5. A lot of undecided or never heard of numbers here for Johnson and for Hakeem Jeffries. John Thune, the South Dakota Senator, Senate Majority Leader, is underwater by about 3.5 points, 19.8 to 23.3. A lot of never heard of and no opinion on him. Chuck Schumer, the Democratic Senate Minority Leader, he is very well underwater at 20 points negative, 26.9% favorable, 46.9% favorable. He's been getting a lot of heat in the media with caving to the Trump administration and voting, I believe, for the infrastructure bill to keep the government open. A lot of Democrats have been hammering him, including this recent Economist YouGov poll, which shows him underwater by negative 34 points. And also back in February, Harvard-Harris had him down 18. Pew had him down 18 as well. But the Economist poll having him down 34 certainly hurt Chuck Schumer's standing right now in approval polls. As for the overall congressional job approval, right now it's down 34.8%. Approved sitting at 27.2. Disapprove 62. Congress has almost never had a high approval rating, sitting right now at about 26.6% or so. The last time it was really much higher than this, you have to go back to, again, about May 2021, where it was underwater by about 19.2%. Other than that, it's remained pretty much underwater around in between 20 to 30 points. There really hasn't been too much change on how Congress is being viewed at this time. Maybe you can see here it's kind of starting to go up a little bit, but it still hasn't been above 20% disapproval in quite a long time. Looking at the 2026 generic congressional vote, looking at in the midterm elections, only 4 polls have been factored into this average so far, but right now the Democrats have a lead of about 0.8%. NBC has the Democrats of 1 point, Emerson has the Democrats plus 3 points, Senegal Research has the Republicans plus 1, Fabrizio Anzalone has it tied. Very early numbers, we're not going to know until we get closer to the 2026 midterms how this will go, but so far Democrats plus 1 shows actually a pretty evenly split election for a midterm election, which again is a repudiation of President Trump and his administration. Just for a reminder, in 2018, it ended up being the Democrats won the popular vote by about 20 points when it came to the Senate map. In 2022, I believe the Republicans and Democrats essentially tied on the Senate map, about 49 to 49.1 on the popular vote. Democrats have a lead of about a point here, which would show the Democrats having a pretty good night, but would also show a very competitive election as well. Last slide I have for you here is just some of the latest polls on some of the races. It says 2024, but a lot of them are for the 2026 races. A poll out of Michigan shows in the governor's race, the Democratic candidate leads by about 3 points and about 2 points, depending on which candidates are factored in, with a huge third-party presence, the mayor of Detroit, Mike Duggan, getting about 16% in both polls. That's certainly going to be a problem. It seems more for the Republicans than the Democrats, but he's taking considerable support away from both parties, though it does seem to be hurting the Republicans a little bit more than the Democrats. The Republican primary, John James, the congressman's leading by 1 point, though Tudor Dixon, the Republican, in second place, only down by 1 point, so very close on the Republican side. Benson, the Democrat, at 46% is well ahead of the second place candidate, Gilchrist, at 13. So Benson seems to be on track to win the Democratic primary for governor, at least at this point in time. For the 2026 New York governor Democratic primary, Kathy Hochul is up 35 points. More likely than not, she will win that primary. Republican Congressman Mike Lawler currently leads the Republican primary for governor if he declares for that race. As for some other recent polls, we have the Michigan Senate race poll before Pete Buttigieg announced he was not going to run. He was up 2 against Mike Rogers, but he's obviously not running now, so that won't be the same. The Rogers against another Democrat was leading by 6 points, so we'll see how that has shifted since Buttigieg is not going to be running in that race. Another Michigan governor poll shows the Democrat winning. The Ohio Senate poll between the Republican Husted versus the former Senator Sherrod Brown has Husted plus 6, and Husted versus Tim Ryan, the other Democrat, has Husted plus 7, with Vivek Ramaswamy leading the candidate poll for governor by 37 points, and Sherrod Brown leading the Democratic candidate for governor by 39 points. A poll from early March showed Tom Tillis, the Republican senator, losing to former Democratic Governor Roy Cooper in a potential 2026 Senate matchup. And on March 4th, we had a poll for the 2025 Virginia Senate or governor race, where the Democrat was leading by 6 points. Back in February, we also had a poll in Arizona about the Arizona governor's race, which shows the Republican Andy Biggs tied with Charlie Kirk, the Republican, and a little bit ahead, 3 points ahead of Trump-endorsed Republican Karen Taylor Robson in the Arizona Republican primary. And in this poll by Noble Predictive Insights, showed Democratic Governor Katie Hobbs in very, very close races, leading by about 1 point to 2 points or so against McCain, against Biggs, and against Kirk. It goes up to 3. And Karen Taylor Robson currently trailing by 8. That's where things stand on that. So those are some late election polls, some of the latest. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a like. Please remember to click subscribe, share with all your friends and family, and remember, I post a new video every single day, so you're not going to want to miss that. Thank you so much for watching.